Welcome to the Field of 68 After Dark's YouTube channel. We are going to be live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here on YouTube and on Stadium for the entirety of the spring.
So let's talk about one of the big brand programs in the country with still one of the guys that's doing it and doesn't appear to be slowing down because he says every time he can't think about retirement. It's Tom Izzo in Michigan State. This is a Big Ten-centric segment to start, at least, because there are some major questions in the Big Ten to answer this upcoming season. The Spartans got better today. They pick up a commit from Longwood transfer Szymon Zapala, 7-footer, 240-pound center, averaged close to 10 points and 6 rebounds per game, only 17 minutes per game, so didn't play a lot. But Szymon Zapala is now in East Lansing. You have said the Spartans front court, an area of question for you. Zapala figures to help that out. Also has been at Utah State. What are your thoughts on this commit? What are your thoughts on Michigan State?
Well, for starters, you say that they got better. Are we positive that they did? Are we positive that this dude is going to play? In 3 seasons at Utah State, he played a grand total of 45 basketball games and never averaged more than a point and a half. Fans, okay, we're not exactly talking about adding Cooper Flag to the mix here. Okay, but what Michigan State needed on this roster was size, interior presence, a 5-man. Mady Sissoko is gone. Malik Hall is gone. And I don't know if Michigan State fans fully trust the development of Xavier Booker, if he's even a 5-man, Carson Cooper, Jackson Kohler. So what they really wanted was Tom Izzo to get out there in the portal and find a center, right? Get out there and see if you can get in the mix with somebody like a Norchad O'Meara, who didn't end up going there, with someone like a Cliff Amori, who didn't end up going there, with some of these other top centers that were putting their names in the portal. And that didn't end up happening. They did land Frankie Fiddler, and I do think, frankly, Fiddler is going to be a really good player at Michigan State. But they needed a 5-man, and they went out and they landed a 5-man. And they got a guy that is 7 foot 240, and you know that Tom Izzo is going to like big bodies. I am not convinced that is the answer that they needed, but I'm also not convinced that there isn't already enough on that roster, right, to be able to be a top 25 kind of a team. And maybe I'm just on my own planet, and maybe I need to stop, taking the edibles that are now legal to be taken in the state of New Jersey. But give me Xavier Booker, a former 5-star that's going to be there for a second season. Play some small ball with Cohen Carr at the 5. Trust in the development of Jeremy Fears, right? And just see what you got, man. Like I get some of the hesitancy to head into a season without an elite 5-man, but I don't know if you need it in this day and age. Am I off base here? Like Tom Izzo's been doing this for long enough that I think that it is fair to sit here and say it is wrong to question a guy that is going to end up being a Hall of Famer in this business.
Well, I mean, we've questioned John Calipari, and he's a Hall of Famer. We've questioned others. So
Yeah, but
it's
we don't
not
like
like
Coach Cal, according to the commenters. That's the only reason we question him. We don't question
we,
Tom Izzo because we like him.
well, look, Tom Izzo is very likable because he speaks his mind. He doesn't care what anybody thinks. But when I think Michigan State and Tom Izzo, I typically think there's a reason why they're in the Champions Classic every year. You know, they
Mm-hmm.
are under him have been a blue blood type of program. If they haven't earned that status in their many glory years, but and the amount of second weekends, the amount of Final Four trips that he's led them on. But this Michigan State team does not look like a Final Four team. They don't look close to that. They look like a good team that can make the tournament and probably be in a 7, 10, 8, 9 type of game. Look, Frankie Fiddler was a great ad. I mean, that was a really nice transfer portal ad. Fiddler had a lot of interest. He'll fill that wing slot. He'll be able to score, and he could stretch the floor as well. Cohen Carr, I'm bullish on his development with an off season and like the upside there. But at the end of the day, like you're counting on this kid that they bring in. You're counting on Xavier Booker. Like Xavier Booker was thought to be a guy who was going to come into Michigan State this time last year, Rob. When we were talking about the Spartans, we said Xavier Booker's going to answer a lot of the questions that this team had in the front court. And so now with the amount of guard play they have, they should be able to piece it all together. That did not happen. So the other element is, are we going to see Jeremy Fears and Jaden Akins be consistent. It's different when you go from third or fourth guard to now surefire first and second. So I'm asking a lot of questions with this Michigan State team. Do I give Izzo the benefit of the doubt on making the tournament? Of course, they're going to make the tournament, but I don't think they're a top 25 team. I do not think that they are a top 25 team.
Thanks for watching the Field of 68 After Dark. Make sure to hit that like button.